my mic picking up? not. Okay. So you all should hear me clearly now. Okay, yeah. All right, everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a reading on Gobekli Tepe. That always sounds weird when I say that. But this is a structure. They believe it was probably like some old temple that they found over in Turkey. Um, I'm just pulling up the wiki right now to see. Unfortunately, the children is upset right now. Okay, so sorry, had to situate the child. Okay, so again, I was pulling up and he came back mad as well. Um, so it is a circular structure. They've seen etchings of like blisters on the side. They think maybe some of the stones had were like pillars, kind of like those ones that they have in oh, is that Easter Isle? But the structures there, the pillars there aren't as elaborate. Like they don't look like they were representative of someone's face. They think they were probably animals. They do say it has some kind of alignment, of course, with some astrology. So they think maybe that's how most of them assume it's something religious because it does line up with. I want to say it was the spring equinox. So. Yeah, but nobody knows. This is, I think they said they even predate this to be older than the pyramids. So that's interesting. So this will be, something older than the pyramids. It's pretty interesting. And I'm just trying to go through and see if there's anything else maybe that needs to know. So yeah, of course they don't know who were the people who built it, why they built it, kind of like what's the story behind it. They don't know if maybe it was some sanctuary or something for some nomadic group they used to wander through, Neolithic Turkey or whatnot. But yes, I thought it would be interesting to do kind of a reading on this because it's something different and I haven't seen anyone do it. So yeah. So without further ado, let's see what we get for these first cards here of just kind of like who built Gobekli Tepe. That was way too many cards. Let's try that again. So we have 1 5 to the side here. We have the 7 of Cups. Let's see how that looks. So the 7 of Cups here. Oh, and then I had 2 other cards, but I know this came out last. This is kind of already flipped over in here. Anything else? Anything else? Nothing, nothing, nothing. So my phone keeps telling my business. So yes. So people, I think it was definitely something somebody abandoned. I don't know if it was probably abandoned out of something for war, maybe, because with the Six of Swords here, this means like it was a harsh ending. You're moving on from something. But this Malik of Wands, I wonder if there was, so with this being in the reversal, I don't know if it was something, it kind of makes me feel like the Tower of Babel. It was a structure somebody was trying to probably build out of their greed or something like that. And it started to become a status symbol or something that people would fight over. It was, an object to kind of like show who was the ruler, who was strong at the time. It probably became something like that. Maybe it was something of like a fortress at one point. Um, it makes me think of that as well. Sorry, I had to mute my phone because that was just too much. And then with the Seven of Cups here in reverse, it's kind of like somebody, it makes me think it didn't satisfy somebody's need. They were creating it for something and it didn't quite hit the mark for them, or maybe for different people, it became to a status symbol to mean something else. Let me get more clarity on this Seven of Cups here. Oh, and then I got, what is this, 4 cards here? So the Charmer. Let's see how many of these I can fit on this screen. The Charmer. We got the Ace of Swords. We got the Malik of Swords. And then we also have Alchemy. So yeah, this is definitely something kind of like status symbol worthy. I think it was definitely a structure of some kind of importance. With the Charmer and then the Alchemy card here, which is temperance in traditional tarot. So when I wonder why the Hierophant didn't come out with this, because sometimes when I think of temperance and I see the temperance card, yes, it could mean moderation. It could be that, somebody was a little overzealous here. But it also, with me, with the temperance card being here, on the opposite end of that spectrum, if you ever do tarot to use, kind of like find out your birth tarot card, I forget what it's called. It is usually in exchange with the Hierophant as well. So it's like that level up that you're getting into. So I wonder if it's kind of like some overindulgence. And it could be a thing of, yes, it was a temple. And maybe, they used substances, whether it was, just wine or, poppy, whatever. And people just got a little overzealous. It kind of makes me think of like Greece. People got a little bit too deep in their own drink there. So with the Six of Swords here, Four of Cups. Was it built to honor someone? With this Princess of Wands here, I wouldn't be surprised if it was others. I feel like maybe this probably was one of the first. That's probably why it's still in such good condition. Maybe that's probably why it's even still standing. It was probably one of the first, and they kind of like abandoned it to build something better. But I also think this was probably built in honor of someone. Yeah, because now we're getting all these princesses. So I wonder if it was just a struggle of like upper class, kind of, I would say nobility. I'm not going to say that. It could be something different at the time. Because we don't know exactly who these people are. And because I'm getting things with like So typically people use wands as kind of like the battle cards, but to me the swords are reading kind of like struggle and battle, and then the cups is reading as like one faction, and the wands are reading as another. Because as you see here, you have the Princess of Wands and you have the Malik of Wands here as well. And then over here we had the Malik of Swords, and then on this side you have the Princess of Cups. So I wonder if there was some things if like someone was trying to get in between a particular, we'll just say a civilization, because again we don't know who these people were. I don't know if there was somebody trying to get in between a tribe or if it was just a civilization and some things went left. I wanted to make sure my volume was still okay. You want to flip over? No. Okay, this is a. Again, we still have that. It's a sailing on again. Did someone shirk their duties? And I will point this out too, so I don't know if you can see it on, if you can see really well, but okay, so on here you kind of have like the Catholic cross here. You have this kind of reminds me of like a traditional Englishman sword. This looks like this could be a Parisian sword. I wonder if it was again some turmoil over this place. There was a lot of people coming and going, and if we know anything, you know, if you research anything about history, you know Turkey has changed hands, especially when it comes to power wise. It has usually been a central point for power for years. I mean, how many name changes has it gone through? It's been Constantinople, it's been Turkey, it's been what was another one it was called? I'm blanking on it, but yes, historians, you can clarify those. But yeah. Oh, Istanbul. So yeah, that's pretty interesting to think that even this far back, Turkey was still kind of going through power struggles. Yeah, it was a spiritual site. It was definitely a spiritual strike. Okay, I don't know why this flipped out, but we're going to see what this is. Is this pathways? Because I think garden is something else. This is either rose or garden, I forget, for in the Lenormand. Let me check. It has to be paths, crossroads. Yep, crossroads. So and usually crossroads speak to what you would typically think, pick a path and stick to it. So again, I don't know if this is, it's steady kind of reading to a run. I don't know if somebody picked the wrong path and that's why it was abandoned and left, or if it just no longer served its purpose. Why is that alchemy card here? Oh, let's see what we got here. This makes me think maybe there was a change or an advancement in the culture at the time. Like maybe people were probably getting away from the spiritual aspect of things and was probably getting more into the science. Yep, cutting things out. You have the charmer here. I don't know if people were abusing the power that probably came with ruling or owning Gobekli Tepe, and somebody probably shirked their duties, because I'm definitely getting like somebody was kind of like trying to get out of some kind of cycle here. Let's see here. No, let me use this one because this will be even better. And so because these slid out just like that when I opened the box, let's see what we got here. We got peace and transform. Yeah, there was no peace because as you can see, it came up in reverse and Gobekli Tepe changed. I don't know if that was somebody abandoned it or they felt like it was no longer being of use. The temple. Beliefs in reverse. Ooh, these three came up in reverse. Belief, instincts, and trick. Yeah, I don't think it was a very nice ending here. And with the belief here, and you have trick at the ending, you see how you notice the believers here is a web in between the ears, as if you got caught in my web. I was luring you as, you know, the fox or the wolf. I don't know what you want to call it, because this one is a honey badger. I lured you into my web, and I got you to where I wanted you, and yeah. And you also, I will also know that you kind of see, I call it the Hecate symbol with the full moon and the crescents on the side, and the third eye opening, like people's becoming hip to something. I think there was a, what's the word for it? Kind of like a, mischievous is the word that's coming to mind right now, but like there was a malicious, that was the word, malicious or mischievous reasoning behind the reason why this was built. I hope it wasn't like human sacrifices, was it? Because you know that comes up a lot when it comes to rest. I say human sacrifices and look what come up, rest. And it looks like a burial mound, right? Like somebody is cocooned in something. Interesting. So was this a resting space? Let's see. I love how these just slide like butter. It's a lot of cards that's coming up in reverse here. Am I just on the wrong path, period? So what I was asking was, Gobekli Tepe resting place. And I got the emitter of this. So am I going the wrong way with this? Was it used for religious matters? Okay, we're getting a lot of people. And then underneath we have the 9 of discs in reverse. This couldn't be somebody's home, right? I mean, it just seems weird from what we've been told about it. It just seems weird if it was somebody's home. Was it like another thing that's kind of I'm thinking of is, was it used as kind of like a church? You know how typically we go to churches and things like that now for marriages. I'm wondering, with the mirror cups being here, I'm wondering if it was just something like that. It's just kind of like where you come to form unions, sign contracts, seal deals. Um, but then why was the trick instinct and believer in reverse here? And we did have the Princess of Wands and the Malik. Was it the Malik of Wands? Yeah. Was it a bad marriage? It couldn't be that, right? And then look, I'm asking about that, and then for the first time, look what comes up. This is like if you pulled the Lover's card or the Four of Wands, and then here we go with the Mirror of Swords. And then look what you got underneath. What was the underlying energy? You have the Sultan, which would be the Emperor in reverse. Was this built as like a wedding gift? That isn't too far fetched for me to believe. If it was built as some, something as simply as a wedding gift or some kind of declaration of love, I could get behind that. That's some real love, because making stuff back then wasn't easy. I mean, some of the things that's built that far back, we still don't even know how they made it. We can't even reverse engineer it. So, and you see how he's holding like this, what is it? Is it like a gourd? It's not a gourd because it would have had two, but he's like holding something gold and fascinating. Was this supposed to be something built to unite people, maybe? Let's see. Let's get some more. I think, okay, so I feel like if somebody did make this for as a love of decoration, I don't think they got a return on their investment. With that being in reverse, we'll say that. Or it was very slow to happen. Okay, wrong deck. Not, don't use that one. And then we get incense. So this was definitely some place for some kind of like ritual. Incense in the Rana George's Lenormand, it does speak to kind of like cleansing. It speaks to typically what do we use smoke for? It's to cleanse places, it's to initiate a ritual, is to kind of like be the basis for something like this. So I think Gobekli Tepe was definitely used for something ritual wise and kind of bridging the gap or union. I'm also wondering here if it was some form of communicating with the gods. You kind of, is that Hermes? I want to say there's Hermes symbol here, but most people associate it with health. But it actually is supposed to speak to, I want to say that's Hermes, the communication, or Mercury, the communication, the god of communication. So I wonder if it was a way for them to convene with the spirits, if it was something that they used again as a temple, a holy place. So I think that's one thing that we can definitely establish here, that it was definitely something used to as a religious base, but who the people were, I'm getting a lot of mixed people. So I'm wondering again if it was just because it was a lot of people who prayed to this god or goddess, or I would just say spirit, or if it was used for something to again bridge unions between social classes or different tribes or people and things like that. Ooh, other side on. I gotta make sure nothing flipped over in here. And there we go. The Six of Cups. I just keep getting the feeling like it was made for something. It didn't serve its purpose. It was thrown away, and maybe somebody else, another tribe of people or something, came in and utilized it for another purpose. Okay, will we get one card from this? Justice, truth, and duty. And there we go again, kind of like with that scythe again. Was it supposed to be used as a safe haven? Was it later used as a safe haven from some sort? You know what, guys? I just realized something. You see him here with the axe. You see a man here with a sword. You see a man here with the axe again. Yeah, somebody didn't like what this was built for and came in and destroyed it, or didn't like the fact that they didn't have it. I think we're looking at opposing factions here. Justice of Pandemonium. Somebody was coming in to mess some things up. I think Gobekli Tepe has been used for at least three different things throughout its time. At least three. I think it was used, of course, as a temple where people communed with the gods, or gave offerings, maybe had marriages and things like that. I think it was also used as kind of like a status symbol of some sort. It's like if somebody was to come to America, and I felt like it was kind of like the White House. How the White House is to America. If you in the White House, you of some importance. You are a person of power. I feel like it served as something like that, and then I also feel that it was, utilized as a safe haven at some point in time, which I wouldn't be surprised by that either. All of those sound very plausible to me. I think the temple was used for a multitude of things, from ending lives to creating lives to praying over lives. Praying is in Pray and Prey. Let's see, will we get more? Ooh, you think I just popped that out? Companionship. Yep, companionship, nobility, self-realization, yeah. And can we get one more card? Yep, it's just bringing back all those things I said. It's confirming it for me. It was used as a status symbol, as a beacon of power with this justice of pandemonium here, justice, truth, duty. with the author being here in companionship, it makes you think again, going back to somebody was probably using it to do unions or commune with gods and things like that. And then you also have the ageless, the light and the dark. So again, that could speak to people using it for spiritual purposes, or it was the, the light and the dark in the desert there where it served for when people were looking for safe haven. And I think they ultimately, that's probably why this belief here, the belief, the instinct, the trick, I believe those are probably here because people did go there seeking protection and ended up running to their demise. And that's probably why we have these like, somebody was leaving, somebody was trying to leave, and it didn't end the way it should have, or that they had hoped. So for me, all those cards are just bringing forth what I was saying. It feels like it was used for multiple different things, and I think eventually the last time it was used, Gobekli Tepe was used, I think some people met a horrible ending. Let's see here. Let's pick up these cards. I'm trying to make sure I don't have anything crossed under here because I have a lot here built up. See, I would have picked this up in there. And just because I know it's gonna be somebody be like, it was alien. Let's see. We're gonna see if it was alien. Can I get 3 cards on this? So those 3 cards that kind of flipped out was the 2 of Wands, the 5 of Swords, and then the 3 of Wands. I said, can I get 3 cards, not 5? Let's try this again. I don't think aliens built it. First of all, I think if aliens would have built it, the star would have been pointing up and not down. So I don't think it was aliens that built this. I think this is something humans made. Again, with the devil being here, it makes me think it was probably some nefarious reasons why someone built it. That seems to keep coming up. And it could be as simple as like, it don't have to be as malicious as like we built this to kind of like kill people. It could have been something that's kind of like population control. Maybe it was probably some ruler who didn't have control of his people, or a merging of different tribes and things like that. They were probably tired of being nomads. You have all these nomads settling in this area, and one way to wrangle people under a common umbrella is you usually have law, religion, and then you have the things of culture. We have to merge some things, language. We have to merge some things. Some things have to be stripped away. We all have to be united under a common front, a umbrella, a belief. So maybe Gobekli Tepe, that was his old initial symbology. That's the whole reason why it was probably built in the first place. Was, now we're stationed and we're settling down somewhere. We're going to use this to kind of like unite people. What would be better than a physical structure of how we are united and can work together and, create laws and religion and, a basis for our whole culture to be built upon. So, yeah, that's kind of like what that makes me think of. And with the League of Swords here, so to me, the Queen of Swords, it reads colder than the King of Swords. The King of Swords reads like, yes, I may be detached, not paying attention, or to you I may come off very in the air about things, but I'm really just thinking long term and thinking ahead. When I see, and this could be a sexist thing of mine, whatever, but when I see a woman who typically behaves in such a manner, there sometimes it's not always above board. We'll say that. I feel like she comes off colder than the King of Swords, though. I wonder if it was probably a female ruler who was probably trying to make sure she had control over her people too. Because, we thinking it could have been a man, it could have been a woman. Who didn't turn out so lucky. And then again, we had choices. Someone made an unlucky choice here. Somebody went down the wrong path. That seems to keep coming up. So I don't think this was built by aliens. I think it was definitely something man-made. Now, why I ask why this devil card here and I get the whip? So if you don't know the Lenormand decks, if you don't read Lenormand is kind of like it is repetition, but sometimes it also speaks to those things of like base nature. It also speak to sexual deviances, things like that. So that's funny. Okay, and then we got 2 for the star. Oh, it feels like some betrayal came on. So this reads, this is, I want to say it's bed or bedroom or something like that. But I think, what do they call it? What do Rana call it in here? Rana calls it something else, I believe. I don't think she calls it bed. I think it's, oh, look at me. I do know something I'm talking about. It is called bed. And so, again, I think because I had to go to this, listen to this. The bed is the 6th card, the getting involved with, sleeping with, and lying in bed with card. It can also be about sleep, take a break, a siesta, relaxing, unwinding, lie down, cool off, tranquilize, a situation or put things to rest. It is your intimate self, the things you keep private, or your intimate relationships. If you want to add this card to your deck, it will take the sex aspect and all the sexuality away from the whip or any other card used for sex. So it wasn't. It's saying it's not sex, but it's really like it did have something to do with sex here. And again, this goes back to the whole marriage bed thing. With the snake being here as well, I wonder if there was a betrayal in the bedroom kind of thing. Of, again, if I was to stick to my story with what I think it is, if it was a woman who was trying to keep control or reign or power over her people, yes, let's build this thing. But she may have married a suitor that, seeing that she did have quite a few, that she did have some power and things about them, and they wanted it for themselves. So they married her and tricked her and did what they want. Especially because the bed is in reverse with the snake too. All of this in the middle is coming up in reverse. Or it could also be a thing of like, it was created because someone was trying to, again, I still think this was somebody trying to erect some kind of physical representation of their power. And another reason why it probably also could have went under was because they were trying to keep too whole or too tight of a grip on their power, and they weren't trusting people, and was the cause of their own fall, their own demise, because they were trying to be too controlling. That's what it's kind of reading like to me. Work. Yeah, they were a little busy. They was at work, all right. Play. Work, play, eat, sleep. It's like, oh, it's fun. Okay. Something flip over here? No? Somebody got drunk on their power here? Okay, this was... And these same three cards fell out again. Believe. Oh, no. Believe, secret, adaption, grow, love. Protects. Came up underneath. Someone failed to protect their power, but they were very loose with their love. Something got out that it shouldn't have. Okay, let's get some more peace. Yeah, somebody was definitely working towards peace. I'm a little confused on why the plate was here. Did they get distracted? With the star being here, you got the snake and then the bed. Did someone get distracted by their sensual desires or their excuse you, dog. Yeah, I wonder, did someone just get distracted by their sensual desires and did not follow through and create the plan that they wanted? And this love card keeps wanting to flip out. Again, I summarized that Gobekli Tepe has changed hands multiple times, a few times. And I think it initially started out, somebody was building it as a structure or a physical representation of their power or to unite their people, to bring people together. And something with that plan went wrong. I don't know if it was they got seduced. I don't know if it was they, went overboard in things and trying to protect their power, and then, drink, eat, play, whatever in moderation, or if someone close to them betrayed them, and I think that plan fell through, and then someone else picked it up and ran with it and did what they want with Gobekli Tepe. I feel like that's kind of like the running theme here. And I wouldn't be surprised, again, once it changed hands, and over the years it was used for a multitude of things, from religion to a power base to a fort in some situations. I wouldn't be surprised if it was used for multiple things over the years or at the same time. We're going to use this for, it's going to be a multi-purpose facility, yeah, that's kind of like what keeps coming up for me. Yeah, I don't know what else I should ask about this. Because it seems like pretty cut and dry from there, like that's what keeps coming up here. So again, no aliens involved in this. I think it was definitely a man-made structure. So put your spooky wookie wands away. Put your tinfoil hats away. You don't need them. Yeah, I think that's pretty sad if it was used for something like that, and this leader just kind of got thwarted. But that's history, right? We typically see that throughout history often. there's any last or residual. Y'all seen what flipped over? It popped up on top, Kyron. Yeah, I'm not getting anything else. I think that's it. Either I'm shuffling with the wrong deck. Oh, and then as soon as I say that. Caretaker of the lost. You see she's holding a skull in her hand. I don't know if y'all can see that. She's holding the skull there. I wouldn't be surprised if they do dig up somebody's there for sure. Let's see, what more will we discover there? This will be the last thing I'll ask, and then I'll close it out. This star card keeps wanting to come out. Nine of Discs and Nine of Cups. For what we will discover there. Independence and wish fulfillment. It could speak to women. It could speak to, we will probably find a female leader here because these are all women here. Maybe some new goddess. A new, we may be informed, because what I was asking is what will we find there at Gobekli Tepe. Now the, people are kind of like, archaeologists are digging in over there. So I don't know if they're going to find, a bunch of women being buried there because there were priestesses there, or maybe it was just a tribe of women. I don't know if they're going to find, if it's a thing of just overwhelming wealth there, if they're going to find a new female ruler, if it's going to be something along the lines of, yeah. It's interesting that we're getting all these nines. And they all have women on them, even with the card underneath. Okay, I feel like you wanted to pop up for sure. The Mirror of Wands. So this basically is the Knight of Wands. Okay, and this did wanna, and then we have the Malika of Wands, which is the Queen of Wands. I think there's definitely going to be some cultural, I think whatever we're going to find there, whatever the archaeology, oh, look at that, the Four of Swords underneath. The underlying energies. Okay, so I think whatever we're going to find there, I think it's definitely going to challenge our current beliefs, maybe, on gender roles, maybe. or how we see women, or how women, or kind of like what we believed women were doing around this time. Because you know, a lot of history don't document a lot of like what women have done throughout. And I wonder if this is going to be kind of like a fountain of that, of kind of, and it's going to totally change our perspective on what Neolithic, prehistoric, ancient women were doing around that time. If it's going to be kind of like a missing puzzle piece for some of the things that we have going on currently, even, or we may draw inspiration from it, because there's a lot of feminine energy around this for sure. Interested to know your all thoughts on this, kind of like what you got, what's your takeaway from this for sure. I may have to come back to this and do it again with a bit more experiences with reading entities and energies around locations and places. But still, all in all, pretty interesting to me for sure. That's why I wanted to do the reading. So again, love to hear your thoughts on this. Please like and subscribe for more of these tarot readings. Next week I will be going live and I will be doing a general reading for all of the signs. So definitely tune back in with that now that we have moved into the new moon in Aries. And if you're feeling volatile emotions right now, you are not alone. I think we're all going through that probably. But there's definitely going to be some newness around here. And I think around that time, Mercury will be in Aries as well. So try to not communicate out of anger. So with that, everyone, I thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all next week around the same time, about 7 o'clock, 7:45. And we'll be doing a general reading on all of the signs. So until then, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you all have a great evening.